But first, once a housing estate gets a label, it's hard to shake off, and that's certainly the case for the Chalk Hill estate in Brent. For decades, it's been called notorious because of problems with crime and gangs. But the people living there are writing a new story for themselves, quite literally. They've come together to publish a book of essays about life on the estate. Extracts even feature on billboards. Toby Sadler has been to meet the residents, focused on Chalk Hill's next chapter.
They're changing the story of one of London's most notorious estates. This is St Raphael's in Brent, St Raph's to those that live here. It was built mostly in the 1970s. Watch the news in the years that followed and you'd have heard about crime and gangs. But for the past decade, the people who live here and the neighbouring Chalk Hill estate have been telling another story.
We did pantomime, we used church.
The kind of memories that have created 2 books and a documentary under the title Authors of the Estate.
When I was getting these books out of an Adidas rucksack, every time I put it through a door, it just felt powerful.
Andre and Nathaniel grew up here in the 1990s. For the past decade, they've been inspiring others to write, to tell life stories and be creative.
Well, tell me what it was like growing up there.
Growing up in the St Raphael's estate, that's a big opening one. Honestly, it was fun. It was a joy. Growing up in St Raphael's, it's a very big estate. We've got the River Brent going through it. We've got a park, so there's a lot of amenities growing up. So, things me and Andre were just reflecting on playing water fights, hide and seek, playing outside games. It's a mix of good and bad, as with all places, but I feel like there was a lot more good than there was bad.
Andre was always creative.
And I would walk this path every single day and thinking of creative ideas. This would be the place where I'll be cultivating that, be in my own space. And then when I want to connect to community, I leave this path, go into the estate and then try to make something happen.
Kathleen is just one of those inspired to take part in the Authors of the Estate.
So this is my house where I lived for 15 years.
That's a phrase that most people can't say. I'm a published author. How does that feel?
Absolutely brilliant. I owe these young men a lot.
The project is now spreading across London. Look out for these billboards with pages of the book. Abdu made the documentary and took these photos.
And for me, I wanted to make these people feel like, it sounds weird, but I try to make them feel like superheroes of the estate,
Andre hopes that in 2026, when you hear about St Raphael's or the Chalk Hill estate, it can be inspiring.
This is what I would have wanted to see 10, 15 years ago. And these are the kinds of messages I wanted to see. And this is the best that we can have. So hopefully with the best that we can provide, they can ask richer questions from this point.
They're looking for new authors and are getting ready to spread the project outside London. Toby Sadler, ITV News.